Okay, listen, you gonna watch a video with me because some of y'all need to be educated. We gonna get right up in it because it's kind of long and I gotta stop and react and talk about some things that she speak on because this is about 8+ minutes. Okay, so listen. Her name is Barbara O'Neill. Some of y'all probably already ran across her. I mean, when I talk about a powerhouse, she's a powerhouse. This lady here, you know, they've been they've been giving her hell in Australia. Okay, but she's been maneuvering just like Kareem and us real natural healers do. Okay, let me play it.
And last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallized acid that's been extracted from the sugarcane plant.
Now I started to slow hot faster, so ahead. But the list is the carbohydrates. She's talking about what causes major issues when it comes to diabetes. Okay, and people don't understand. Okay, people don't understand that you run around with a lot of y'all. I'm talking about a large amount of you, 1 out of 3 pre-diabetes, and they don't test for that. Okay, so you need to understand so you can know how to make it to your 40s, your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80, and you ain't in no pain. Okay, we're trying to live a good life, not be on the rat race and still stressed out and the body just toe up. Let's go.
It's one of the most lethal substances, I believe, that has been introduced to the human frame.
She talking about sugar.
Now, all of these foods in the gastrointestinal tract break down to a little substance called glucose. And as I showed in my previous presentation, glucose now can come into the blood. And it goes into the blood, then it goes on the M1 main highway straight to the project manager, which is the liver. And then the liver sends the glucose to the cell.
So, you at all the stuff you eating, you just introduced it to the body. And now the liver, let's go.
So let's have a look at what's happening in the cell. So the glucose
In your cells.
comes into the cell
Glucose.
and it comes in under the action of insulin. Insulin increases 30-fold the amount of glucose that can get into the cell. So let's draw a little pancreas here.
Your pancreas. Individuals that have insulin resistance, the actual pancreas is signaling to the body that, hey, look, I'm trying to make sure I send some insulin here. And the body saying, no, I don't want it. The cell saying, I don't want it, because you overloaded the body already with sugar.
For our illustrations,
Let her break it down.
this is the pancreas. And it lives under our left rib. And it releases insulin. And insulin's role in the body is to get the glucose out of the blood and into the cell.
Out of the blood and into the cells. The pancreas' job is to get the glucose out of the blood into the cells.
So it comes down into the cell and it goes through a 20-step pathway. That 20-step pathway delivers 2 units of energy. And the end result of that 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. Pyruvate is the chemical form of glucose that gets fed into what's often called the powerhouse. It's called the powerhouse because even though it's only an 8-step pathway, it delivers 36 units of energy. Very
She teaching.
impressive. And as we've looked at already in a few of our lectures, that this is an aerobic pathway because it uses oxygen, whereas this pathway is an anaerobic pathway because it produces energy by the process of fermentation, not oxygen. But on a high carbohydrate diet, we have
On a high carbohydrate diet, all the stuff you love to eat all day long, and they tell you it's okay to eat.
still got glucose left over. So first place is the cell. Now the second place that the liver will cause the glucose to go is to be stored in the muscle cell like a little bunch of grapes, but they're little molecules of glucose. And they're called glycogen. Glycogen is a name given to quick-release glucose stores. They're just waiting there, ready to be used. Yesterday, I had breakfast like a king. Yesterday, I had lunch like a queen. Last night, I had tea like a pauper, which was a drink of water. I woke up this morning and I did my high intensity run. I found a few hills. Where did I get the energy?
Where did you get the energy?
I hadn't had anything to eat the night before. Where did I get the energy? It's my glycogen stores already in the muscle cell, just waiting to be used. And when I start using the body and my 20-step and 8-step pathway starts speeding up, basically it starts saying, fuel. These little molecules of glucose called glycogen just get plucked, fed down the pathway, plucked, fed down the pathway. It's an amazing design. But on a high
Isn't it amazing how the God body is?
carbohydrate diet, we've still got glucose left over. So the third place that the body stores the glucose is as fat.
Cells, glycogen, fat. Storing it everywhere because you got so much to give.
Let's do our fat cell. Here it is over here. And on this high carbohydrate diet, many Australians, many Americans, many in the Western countries are getting bigger and bigger.
Looking like pork rinds.
And bigger. And so what do many people do to try and stop getting fat? Try to lose weight, they stop the fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. What makes you fat is this high carbohydrate diet releasing the glucose, forcing the liver to store it as fat. And that's what fat is, excess fuel.
You ain't heard about no fatty liver? I think I'm going to have to do a video on that. Help your liver out. A little secret for you, milk thistle.
Excess fuel that hasn't been able to be used by the body. And you put also into the equation people eating breakfast like a pauper, lunch like a pauper, and the king and the queen together. All they're doing is going to sleep, and then that forces the liver to store all that excess again.
Barbara cooking. Cook, lady.
It's fat. Now, understanding this principle is pivotal in understanding diabetes. You see, when sugar goes in, blood glucose levels rise. Very quickly the brain says, quick, we need a high amount of insulin.
The brain is saying, I've got too much sugar. It hollers at the pancreas.
Because the blood glucose levels are too high, so we've got to get the glucose out of the blood, into the cell, or storage as glycogen. Any more around, then it's stored as fat. And so the insulin's released and the blood glucose levels go down.
Look how the body helps. But guess what?
But high glucose demands high insulin.
High glucose in your body, which you putting in there, a lot of it all day long. Now it needs a lot of insulin.
Now we've got another problem. Now blood glucose levels are going too low.
Ooh.
Brain says, oh no, we're running out of fuel. Quick, stop the insulin and release the glucagon. Glucagon is the hormone designed to get the blood glucose levels up. Blood glucose levels up. Insulin's designed to get the blood sugar levels down. So the pancreas releases these two hormones, and these two hormones are designed to balance the blood glucose or the blood sugar levels. So after the effect of insulin taking it down and glucagon being released, what's also happening is
What's else happening?
when a person's down there, what do they usually do? Oh dear, I need something. Quick, give me a lolly. You call it candy, we call it lolly. Give me a Mars bar, give me a...
Yeah, some people, when their blood sugar's too low, they're going to need something. You hear them all the time say they need something like orange juice or they need some apple juice.
A Coke, a coffee with 2 teaspoons of sugar. Will that get it up? Oh yes. Boom! Now we're going too high. Body says, oh no, we're too high. Stop the glucagon, release the insulin. Boom. Oh no, we're too low. Can you see what's happening? Crisis, 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 crisis.
And when that happen, all kinds of things happen to you. What you think gonna happen?
Now something happens. The cell is actually starting to say, I'm sick of the sight of you. And so it develops insulin resistance.
Bam! There you go. There you go. When things like that happen and you start having chronic fatigue and all kinds of issues, and you ain't been diagnosed for no type 2 diabetes, you just run around with pre-diabetes and you just yo-yoing your army, your immune system, which is your cells. You just doing them any your kind of way. What you think gonna happen? You might not stop because you're too addicted. That's the moral of the story. Thank you, Mrs. Barbara O'Neill, breaking it down. Shout out to you. We'll be dropping these natural healers on a regular basis. And these other doctors out here, dropping them. I don't care what color they are. You need to have the information. We all in this fight together. But what you think gonna happen? You might not be able to stop because your addiction, but your cells and your body is intelligent enough. Be like, you know what? You gonna keep on doing me dirty like this? I'm your immune system. I'm your army. I'm the one that keeps you strong throughout the day. I'm the one that actually just fights off all kinds of issues that you bring into the body, whatever you bring into the body, stuff to try to get to the body, form, whatever. I am your actual defense mechanism. And you gonna keep doing me like this, up, down, just jacking me up, just sending all kinds of inflammation and nerve damage to it. You doing this because you addicted and you can't stop? Guess what? I don't want it no more. The cells develop the insulin resistance and says, I don't want it no more. Lets the pancreas know, no. The liver tried to give it, no. Everybody's trying to holler at the cells, no. So it's just flowing in your blood. You got sugar blood now. You know why? Because you forgot. And thank you for watching this for me. Because you forgot. But I'm here to help you remember that Mother Nature's your gift to healthy living. Herbs Kareem. Peace. Thank you for spending time.
Do you have questions about your health or business development and strategies? Herbis Kareem is now offering private one-on-one consultations where you can receive personalized guidance based on your situation. Visit 4cyclesoflife.com to learn more. The consultation link is in the description.